Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about Open Network for Digital Commerce or ONDC. So let's dive right into it. So what exactly is the problem that we are building ONDC? Well, problem is e-commerce is a very big industry, meaning even a country like India, it started as a very small thing, a very niche thing, very top echelon kind of thing. But right now it's a huge industry, meaning it's so big that it's harming brick and mortar stores. And India has a very large tradition of shopkeepers and what we call kirana stores. They are everywhere. And if enough of them start to get harmed, that's a very large percentage of population that is losing their income. So it is a big issue. On top of that, while people who are making boatload of money, generally they are very big targets, and governments are paying a lot of attention into them, and they are extracting tax out of them without any issues. That's awesome. Okay, the big people, easy target. But what about 10,000 small people who are leeching off little bit of tax, not paying enough taxes, and then creates a scenario where India has more than enough people who are supposed to be paying taxes, but only a small fraction of them are paying taxes. So that creates a very serious tax-free income, and that's a literally black money. So that's an issue. Another aspect is platform right now, meaning Amazon Basics or Flipkart. They are controlling national market. Meaning, I'll give you a simple example. For this is a Amazon Basic product. Now this is not made by Amazon. It was made by some Chinese company, let's say X. Now there must have been a major company that would have looked at it, Chinese factory, and be like, you know what, we want Canon's remote, because Canon is hyper charging their remote for 3,000 rupees, even though the material cost would be barely 150. So 500 should have been enough, but they're like, what if we charge 3,000 because Canon tax, because F the customer. And this company, third party, is like, we can make it, sell it for 1,000 rupees and still have large profit. Okay, they did that. Now Amazon, they are selling through Amazon, and Amazon noticing, bro, they're selling a lot of these. There's significant volume. Now they will start to do their analysis. It's like, are we selling enough of this? Are there continuous demand for this? They're like, okay. All this grow. Okay, directly try to find the Chinese manufacturer and contract them to mass manufacture much larger quantity. So if the third party was manufacturing, let's say 10,000 batch, they will manufacture 1 million in batch. Again, but they have the cash flow, they have the statistical data, though they know how to make it and how to sell it. They will manufacture it. They'll get a stamp of Amazon Basic, and they sell it. Now, because it's their own platform, they do not charge that service fees of around 12 to 13%. So by default, the product cost is much lower because the bulk order capacity, and the fact that they do not have to pay the charge for Amazon, they can end up selling the product that was around for 1,000 rupees, now for let's say as little as 500, while making larger percentage in profit. So they can destroy a company, and it has been going on for seriously large amount of time. So at this point in time, Amazon Basic is a serious threat to national industries. Flipkart is also doing that. That's why there are many mobile phones that are Flipkart exclusive. So it is a very serious thing where your platforms are controlling your national economy. That's not okay. Another aspect is because from a customer point of view, we are limited in terms of choice. If it's available in Amazon, it's available in Flipkart, that's good. If it's not, bye-bye. Like right now, if I want to buy aluminum 2020 extrusion, there are some small scale vendors, but I can't trust them. They don't have the logistic, and Amazon is killing every brick and mortar store. Same as Flipkart. If they don't have it, I'm stuck. So I do not have enough choices. And in terms of control, I don't even have control. I cannot I would rather have a platform that is charging a little less. It's a bit more open, bit more transparent. It's what they're giving the rating and all that jazz. It's bad. This problem started out as very small, but it's now bad, serious. And so idea is government is gonna make the tool. Now tool specifically that we are talking about is a back-end tool. It's not a tool that you will see or I will see. It's a tool that will be working behind the scenes, basically almost like a server end, what we call back-end, on apps. Multiple apps can utilize this. It's almost like if you are live in India, UPI. Now UPI is a core network built by Indian government, and it's being utilized by multiple apps. For example, if UPI has its own app known as Bheem app, then you can use Google Pay app, you can use Paytm app, you can use Phone Pay app. There are many apps for that. Many banking also utilizes that UPI as a backbone. While they have their own skin on top of it, but the backbone is built by government, and it's free transaction, meaning to be money transfer at zero fee. So if there is a charges on top of UPI, that's your local charges. Local charges is if it's going from abroad from India, or it's the company that is making the app that is taking a bit of charge. So UPI is free for us. So it's exactly like that. Now here's the deal. This is something large. It's supposed to be used by many people. How do you make sure that many people actually utilize that? It will be open source, and it will have security at its core, meaning every aspect of it, the API layer, every single coding that they are utilizing, the database management, all that. And given the fact it's supposed to take care of 1 billion plus people, it's going to be built in open source, and everything has to be transparent, 100% transparent. And because this is coming after such a big scandal of Amazon exploiting its own countries, and Flipkart is also causing harm, they're like, security day one. Everything has to be transparent, everything has to be secure, user data must not be exploited. So ONDC network is the backbone, and it's designed in such a way that data is not stored here. So even if this network gets compromised, no user data would be lost. So that's from day one. That's what they are trying to build. That's they're trying to achieve from day one. And they will have unified rating throughout the apps, meaning there could be millions of customers. Customers could be in different states, utilizing different front end on their end, and there could be different sellers using different front end. That's the whole point of it. There could be different ecosystems tied together, like how UPI ties Google Pay, Paytm, Phone Pay. Same thing would be there. So they all will have shared rating, meaning you can see the rating of A into B into C and D. Rating has to be done in 3 core components. Basically, delivery partner is delivery, because again, that's the biggest unknown. It's like you pack your stuff very well, you give it to delivery partner destroys it, and the customer is like, dude, why you are selling me like it, bad thing, and the customer will have a justified reason to give you a bad rating. So that bad rating will affect you, but you can have the luxury to show, hey, I packaged it like this. This was the package. This has only traveled 150 kilometers and was destroyed by the delivery partner. So delivery partner will get bad rating. Delivery partner is a big thing. Customers, because many customers exploit this sort of system where they're like, for example, Indian women got like really bad rating for this, is because they're exploiting like whole clothing supply chain, where they're like, ordering a cloth for a party, wear that cloth into the party, and then come and like return it. So that became if you start to do a lot of that, like government is like, not government as in like the clothing stores, they kind of know, is like, you're gonna e-commerce, they know for 1 or 2 recycle will happen. But if 50, 60, 70% of your customers start to return everything, then it's like you're gonna go bankrupt. So they're gonna give customer rating also. So meaning if you are buying 10,000 things and you're only returning few, that's a good customer. That's a good customer. But it's like 50% of things are returning, then it's like yellow rating, tough customer. If 90% of the things are being returned, yeah, stay away. So customer will be rated, seller would be rated, and delivery partner would be rated, and that rating will help to do QC, so to say. So that's the tool that government is building right now. Now, what's the logic behind it? Logic behind it is basically the backend tool development required is very complex. It's not something any Tom, Dick and Harry can do. It's something that consumes a lot of money, even if it's open source. For example, Linux is open source, but its kernel is maintenance is done by very trained professionals, and they consume a lot of money, as in per month donation kind of thing. Like seriously large amount of money is spent in Linux kernel to make sure it's up to date, and then the large community working for free to make sure it's even better. So you have to understand that, like, if a government is starting this sort of system, they have to burn money like there is no tomorrow. So it will be transparent, it will be open source, and it will use UPI as the base for money transfer. Now, thankfully, UPI is sorted. We have been using this for around 6 years, and it has crossed a multi-billion-dollar transaction daily. So we got that. Like UPI, we got this. The core, the hardware, the infrastructure, all is like sorted. Then you have to understand this will also, UPI has become such a big thing that it's available in local markets, like brick and mortar store has that. So it wants to be that easy for local company to be like, you know what, I want to sell my stuff. It should not be as complicated as going into Amazon and making your own online account and giving a very large percentage fee. You can literally be like, you know what, I want to put my stuff in like, ONDC network, and if somebody wants to, showcase this product into their other stuff, good luck. So that's how easy they want to, like how easy it is to make that UPI QR code. That's they want to do. And the benefit would be, it will create basically local customer. Now, why local customer is a big deal? Well, India is a huge country, meaning idiotically huge. So large places, Amazon can take care of. But what about small places? Now, in small places, you can, like, there is very small, and there is like small places that have like, one regional airport. Now, in those sort of places, there could be more than enough shops that you don't know every single shop, and you do not know every single shop's inventory, but you are searching for something. Right now, your first instinct would be order it on Amazon. You will ask 1 or 2 shop, then you will like order on Amazon. But if you had ONDC network and every brick and mortar shops like try to upload their inventory there, you're like, hey, this is available. Now, because it's a local place, it's like you can know that there is a person's delivery, and because there will be multiple delivery partners, there will be multiple local delivery partners also. They're like, you know what, I'm going to deliver it. And that's how it can also breed many small local players. Local players will have the benefit of like, hey, this area, there is no large company, there is no, let's say, Blue Dart or Delivery, FedEx or things of this nature. How about we start our own small startup? That's how these company became huge. So because of this hyper competitive environment, they are not growing enough. But if there is a platform where there's like, you know, there is enough demand, they can grow, they can create a system, they can evolve, and they may become the next big thing. So it will allow many small new players to grow, and then once they become good enough, they can compete. So that's the logic behind it. So government is pouring some serious money into this, serious hope and like some elbow grease into this. So what's the end game for hope? What's the hope for it? Hope is nation will develop a much larger tax pool, and that would be really good for Indian treasury. So that's awesome. On top of that, it will also remove the control for MNC from our nation. MNC is like multinational corporation. Now you have to understand one core aspect of MNC. MNC is no one's friend. Meaning, even if you think like, oh, Toyota is the MNC of like, Japan, they will be like, they will be good for Japan. Nah. If they find out for a fact that like, manufacturing in China is cheaper, China. It has happened. Same with Ford, same with every company. MNCs is like no one's friend. They genuinely don't care about any country. They only care about profit. So they have many times have destroyed many countries that were nice to them. They have destroyed it. So MNC is one of those things that you want to be like, taken in like, what we call measured doses. It's like something very serious. You measure it like, I got this. You're good, but I got this. Like I got this. You have to apply some brakes to it. So that's really good for them. Removing Amazon and removing Flipkart, and allows small player to grow. That's another aspect. You do not want to live in a country where there is only two options. You want to live in a country like, for example, as huge as India, which has 1.5 billion people. There should be at least 10-20 options. Come on, man. And thankfully we do have that many options. Back in peaks, we did had that many options, and like, networking, mobile networks. Like I was always surprised, like, US people are saying there is like 3 options. I'm like, dude, we had 30. In peak time we had that many options. Right now also we still have like 5-6 major carriers. So the more carriers, the better the pricing becomes, the better, the fairer the economics become of this. So a lot of small players, a lot of growth, a lot of competition, good services for all. And then it will also empower large section of public that has been harmed by e-commerce. E-commerce almost like, slowly started to creep in and became the next big thing. And especially because of the pandemic, pandemic did not harm the online business. Heck, it grew exponentially while brick and mortar store. So from a government point of view, a regulation body point of view, like you are, harming a very large portion of your population. It is not acceptable. So they have to take care of it. And they want to take care of like Amazon and Flipkart. That's the two main target where they're like, dude, you two are like becoming too huge. For a nation that has 1.5 billion, 2 is not enough. So that's the hope. Better tax, better control over the nation, better growth, better competition, less harm to the public. Everybody should win. We should not have a scenario like these are like Indian malls. Most of the Indian malls are like, running in loss, or many of them have started to close down. I recently been to a mall to watch a movie. The whole mall was dead. It was eerie how creepy it was. Like a good mall in Ahmedabad was like dead. Corona. And after that, like people are, once people got comfortable with online shopping, they're like, why go to mall? So that is the good aspect of it. What is there any issue? Is there any unknown? Well, yes, the biggest issue is quality assurance, meaning you may not like Amazon. You may not like how they are predatory becoming like that. But here's the deal. Amazon and Flipkart, they are there for taking care of you. They're like, bro, we got you. You trust Amazon. Like I trust Amazon. I have bought products that twice as price compared to some unknown e-seller compared to unknown e-seller to Amazon. I have paid that money because for me, it was like, what? I want peace of mind. And if it's ugly, I will return it. So that peace of mind in Amazon and in Flipkart is something that they worked on. That's what they did. That's how they became this big. So who is responsible for your customer? Rating is not good enough. Like who the hell is going to deal with defective products? Who's going to deal with conflict resolution? That's a very serious issue. Now, in case of UPI, which is another example that is given, UPI is very simple. It's like transfer money from point A to point B. It's very simple. Either it works or it does not work. There is very easy conflict resolution, and they have like RBI, like a national reserve is there to like, I got this. So who is there? Like who got this network? Nobody. So that's a very serious issue. And risk of manufacturers directly coming in, because here's the deal. Think of this. So you made this amazing tool. What if SanDisk itself starts to like, hey, why sell to Amazon? Why sell to these sellers? Or like, this wholesalers? How about I directly go, tada? How about I open my own, basically small shops and directly undercut everybody? Like you started with this tool as in like, everybody's going to be awesome, and the manufacturers like, I can increase my profit while decreasing my everything, and I'm gonna be awesome because people is gonna get product for cheaper cost. Like you can have a scenario where you can literally, remove job of 10% of nation. So that could be like, unknown scenario. So risk of that is also there. And it's not as simple as UPI. Many times people are like, oh, UPI was such an amazing success. Yes, it was, because we had notebandi, meaning basically currency was destroyed. Invalidated, technical term is. 1,000 rupee note and 500 rupee note was invalidated, meaning the people had to throw it into banks as quickly as possible, or it was a shock. And if this shock was not created, this would not have been a success. So that's a very dangerous precedent. So it's like government may flat out ban everything else, so ONT network becomes so successful. That's a iffy situation. That's a very dangerous, very dark situation. I don't want that to happen. So there are some unknowns. Even though there's good intent, good all that, who the hell is going to be responsible for the ugly parts of it? And that's the main aspect of it. That's why Amazon is successful. That's why Flipkart is successful. They are responsible for the ugly parts of the things. So this was my presentation on this India's new initiative. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.